Hello YouTubers, it's Chris, and I have found a, well, hopefully a fantastic old Ariens snowblower here. I found it at the dump just yesterday. The thing weighs a ton. It's a 32-inch bucket here, 8 horsepower, and I had sparks shooting out the bottom of my spine trying to lift this thing into the back of the truck. Fortunately, some kind soul saw me in my predicament and he helped me out. So, like I said, there's a lot going on. So for one thing, we've got a, it's not a big deal. The gas line is severed here. And unfortunately, we have a broken, the handlebar mechanism that attaches to the chassis is broken, so that's kind of flopsy. Look at this. This part itself is valuable. They're hard to find. I find the carburetor shrouds missing on a lot of these old machines. Attached. Muffler's all rotted away. Interesting. So that's not a major concern, but this carburetor, man, look at it. Looks like it's full of cancer. Well, choke works. Like I said, there's no fuel to it, but do I keep it or do I toss it? So I don't know. I guess a lot of that's contingent upon whether or not this thing sparks to life. So what we're gonna do, actually, this is what we're gonna do first. Cheers. I don't know how much I want to fuss with this, but let's throw some of this. A little shot of that. All right, it's got an on-off switch. But let's see if it at least sputters to life here. It'd be nice to have an electric start on this thing, but all right, here we go. Oh, wow. Well, I think that's a keeper in my book. All right, so we moved this into the garage here, and let's see what's going on with this thing. These bolts feel all kind of like seized up and stuff. This thing. All right. So that bit of problem solved. So didn't have to buy that part. So these bolts look kind of, I don't know. Let's see what happens. Hopefully they're not stripped or anything like that. They're not going to break off. That'd be even worse. Go figure. So this is what came off. So looking at this a little bit more, I'm still trying to wonder what was going on here. I'm almost inclined to think there was a fire. I mean, this really looks kind of like soot and stuff. And you go down here to what I presume is the primer line that goes up behind here to the primer bulb. It's all cooked up. Yeah, and as far as all this other incrustation and deposit, I mean, this might even be just from a fire extinguisher. You know, maybe that's what's going on. But, you know, it runs, and I think it's, we'll just polish it up a little bit and get it back, and we'll take it off, reconnect this primer. I think we have a pretty slick machine. So I pulled some of these pieces off just to, I don't know, have a look at what's going on with this primer line. I think maybe we'll just paint them up as well, but you can see here, flipping this over, it's quite degraded. I don't know if it was burnt or melted where it attaches to the carb. So we'll just pull this off, put a new piece on, and I use this Krylon glossed over white that sort of matches up quite nicely to that somewhat off-white, cream-colored white of these older Tecumseh engines, and I will show you what that looks like when it's done. Yeah, so I cleaned up the carb and everything a little bit. The float bowl's nice and clean. This upriser from the carb into the combustion chamber, clean that off a little bit. Clean this stuff off a little bit up here, and then we'll put everything back together again. So those shrouds and covers, they cleaned up pretty nicely. I just masked off the old stickers and whatever. I picked up this aftermarket Oregon muffler, new bolts, shoulder bolts for this, and yeah, it looks all right. Gotta take the tape off this, kind of mask that up, but yeah, not too bad. Had to get some new screws and fasteners. We'll have to fix that broken lower handlebar, find a replacement. But I think it's be pretty sweet. So my buddy Yoda, he has a MIG welding set. He has a propensity for fusing metals, and he did a good job here. It's all one solid piece again. Excuse me. So we're gonna put this back on here and give a shout out to Yoda. So there she is. She's all back together. Here's the control panel here. We have 5 speeds forward, 1 reverse, nifty on-off key switch. Everything basically works. This isn't a restoration by any stretch of the imagination, but it's kind of a tune-up, clean-up. New chains on it, the big wheels here. I think we're gonna have some fun with this. If you look into this bucket here, heavy-duty differential drain plug here, and it has a 6-point impeller on it. I mean, this impeller is huge. So this should have enough inertia to really fire the snow, I think. And this is where the real business end and differences are on these. So here's the Ariens, and here is the little Craftsman. Little 4-blade impeller, massive 6-blade impeller. But they work great. They are what they are. I'd take this guy in a second though. And we're gonna put it into the snow and let it go. 1 prime, that's all we need. Cold start. Key is on. Put it on fast and give it a try. picked, flamed, fixed, and functioning once again. So thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, well, this resurrection as opposed to a restoration. Enjoy the rest of the winter, and happy viewing to you. Thanks.